what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're here in Las Vegas for the 2021 edition of the SEMA show. Obviously, walking around the floor of this major convention center, had to stop at the Mopar area because, like many of you know, Mopar or no car, and guess what? We have reason to celebrate with this vehicle right behind me. This is a 2022 special edition known as the Dodge Durango Mopar Edition. Before we get into this muscle car V8 powered SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Dodge, originally started by the Dodge brothers so many years ago, have really come into the 21st century as the go-to if you want that muscle car V8 power. Now the great news is you have your choice of a Charger. You can have it 20 different ways from Sunday, a Challenger. Of course, you go over to Ram with the supercharged TRX. The Durango is no different. With the Dodge Durango, have it many different ways, any way you choose, even a 710 horsepower Hellcat, and that really allows you to have that whole flexibility. Now, when it comes to this particular Durango, a lot of these vehicles are concept vehicles. A lot of these vehicles are built just for the show. This is actually built for the show, but it's also built for the go because they're making 250 of these vehicles to celebrate 85 years of Mopar. And what does Mopar stand for? Motor Parts. So let's go ahead, let's find out if this is a muscle car powered SUV that you need to be buying and worth the price. Let's dive into this Dodge Durango Mopar Edition. Right off the bat, the color. It has so much metal flake in it, it sparkles like a bowling ball or a bass fishing boat. Up front, with it being a 2022, you do get that revised style of the headlight design. So with the model year 2021, they went with a little bit smaller headlight housing, LED daytime running lamps, LED projector beam headlights, and turn signals, looking really great. Working our way down, functionality is the name of the game. You got functional LED fog lamps, and of course, side air curtains. What's great about the different Dodge, Ram, Jeep vehicles is that all of the inner bits have a nice functional look, but also form goes with that function, and that's what gives you such a great muscle car style, even though this is an SUV. Now, coming across the front grille area, you got that flat black functionality up top. Following our way down, more functionality. Now, this whole Mopar Special Edition is built on the Tow and Go platform, which we already brought to you here on Raiti's Rides, and that is a nice kind of balance of having V8 power, but also having that great towing capability, because at the end of the day, this could tow up to 8,700 pounds. One of my favorite touches is as we kind of slide over, you're gonna get this beautifully done Mopar badge. Like I said, Mopar, no car, so much history, so much meaning behind motor parts, and then of course, the Mopar blue racing stripe that goes right over the driver's side of the business towards the end, gives it that great look. Now, when we get up onto the hood, you're gonna have that muscle car bulge. Everybody here at SEMA wants a bulge. You get it with this Durango. Functional center scoop, and you have your functional heat extractors on both sides. And this is another example of the form following the function. This is function, but it gives you such a sexy form. Now, when you come around the bend, it's not just about a fancy paint job. You're also gonna get some other touches. Wheel and tire setup. So you're gonna get these nice satin black Y-spoke design wheel with the Mopar badge in the center, 20-inch wheel, and peeking behind those wheels, look at the massive brakes. You're gonna get a 6-piston Brembo caliper, Mopar blue, larger rotors, fully ventilated, and tuned suspension all the way 4 corners. And if you're wondering, Joe, what's the setup on this? You're basically looking at that 285 on the width, 45 series on the sidewall, and you have that all-wheel drive that's gonna get the power to the ground, or also for towing. But really love the black, especially everything's painted black all the way around the fender opening, and that blue just pops perfectly. Now, coming down the side, you can see the sparkle of that black paint on the mirror caps. You got the turn signals coming all the way from the side of the vehicle. It looks like your standard Durango, but wait until we get into the interior because there's some big changes for this special Mopar edition. But working our way towards the back, let's focus on the rear. Out back, you got 295 on the width, because remember, even though this is an all-wheel drive car, you could send power to those rear wheels. Nice large Brembo calipers, look like Papa Smurf and the rest of the Smurf bunch all the way around the 4 corners, but just a nice color, 295 on the width, 45 series sidewall, 20-inch wheels all the way around. Now, as we come around the back, what are we working with? You can see that update on the taillights, LED taillights. Of course, you're gonna have the LED lighting that goes all the way across. The striping coming off the roof and down onto the rear tailgate. And it would have been nice if they had a special roof spoiler for this special edition. This is your standard Durango. Now, if you go Durango Hellcat, you do get the addition of that extra spoiler on top to give you downforce, but not on this particular one. But as we drop down, I think my favorite finishing touch is those stainless steel exhausts, one on each side, one tip on each side, gives it that nice V8 rumble that you're gonna want. And underneath that plastic cover, like I said, tow and go, you have that towing capability. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this Durango Mopar Edition. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on this Durango Mopar Edition. The great news is you don't have to worry about like a turbocharged engine or anything like that. You're gonna get naturally aspirated V8 power. And like I said, you could go many different ways with your Durango choice, all the way up to the Hellcat with 710 horsepower. But what do we have? Under this Durango Mopar Edition, you have that tried and true 5.7 liter Hemi V8 putting out 360 horsepower. It's made it to that Torque Flight 8-speed automatic transmission. I do like the way they have the Hemi badge on the air intake for this engine. Not the sexiest engine cover, but still not the worst. It would have been nice to have taken some of that Mopar blue and brought it underneath the hood, maybe some accents, maybe some different badging. But like I said, I think when it comes to having such a variety of different engine options, this really is a go-to for somebody who wants some of that V8 performance, but yet doesn't want to break the bank and has a towing capability of 8,700 pounds. But why don't we get inside and see what's special about this Mopar Edition. All right, guys, here we are at SEMA, live filming it for you in this 2022 Durango Mopar Edition. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, this Durango seems like it's sitting a little bit lower. You are correct. Besides those massive Papa Smurf brakes, those bright blue Brembos, you're also getting a Mopar lowering kit just to bring it down enough to give it that perfect look. I know you're saying, what about price? I love this SUV. This one is special. They're only making 250 of them. It's got to be expensive. Well, here's the good news. MSRP for a regular Dodge Durango RT tow and go is right around $52,900. This adds $4,000 to the price. And it's quite a bit of special touches to have that special standout. But let's see what you're getting for the money. To the door panels. Love the nice smooth touch material. And guess what? They brought the forged carbon fiber from the Durango Hellcat into this Durango Mopar Edition. No two pieces are exactly the same, and you have that Mopar blue contrast stitching on the armrest, all soft touch material, no gloss black, but the door pocket is a big zonk. Barely fit a hot dog from Costco in there and a bottle of root beer to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, the great news is you're getting all the updates from the regular Durango. So you're gonna get all smooth touch material. There's more of that forged carbon fiber and the Mopar 2022 badge. So that tells you 85 years of Mopar history. Mopar, no car, that blue contrast stitching, and then infotainment. Now we are at the show. I can't start this up. It doesn't even have any juice to it. So just be known, it's the same 10.25-inch infotainment system that we've showed to you on Raity's Rides. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It's got the new Uconnect 5 operating system. But what I love about Dodge is that they give you the rest of the physical buttons. So if you don't want to touch the screen, you have heated seats, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, all your volume control, dual climate, and a nice set of toggle switches. We even got wireless charging, more forged carbon fiber, and a place for that Twinkie. When you drag race somebody, that's the Twinkie you give to the loser. 2 USB-Cs, 2 USBs, and an aux jack. This is gonna control that Torque Flight ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. 2 cup holders. Love the armrest because it's a good height, and it's got the stitching. Open it up, it's a little tight. 12 volt and maybe 1 3 Musketeers, maybe 2. That's about it. Seats though, they did not leave the seats untouched. You got the Mopar embroidery, nice stitching, Alcantara, electric assist for the passenger and for the driver. And then of course you have a standard size sunroof, but the great news is they wrapped the headliner in Alcantara material. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this special edition Durango. All right guys, as you can see here at SEMA, this is a very popular vehicle, not only because it almost looks like a concept vehicle or a special modified vehicle, but this is one that's going to be available, like I said, sometime in 2022. But let's see some of the choices and touches. If you look at the footbox, you are going to get the same aluminum brake pedal and throttle that is in other Dodge Durangos, especially like the Hellcat. My only zonk is that you don't get a nice size dead pedal. It's just carpet. So that definitely is a zonk for me, but you do have the aluminum plate here with the Dodge name. And just like the passenger side, you do have full electric assist to get that seat perfect to the contours of your body. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom, even with the standard size sunroof, and then steering wheel. This is another missed opportunity that I'm gonna have to zonk. You do have leather, you do have the stitching, but you have your standard Dodge horn button. It would have been nice if this is a Mopar edition to have that Mopar name there, maybe put some blue stitching. There is paddles behind the steering wheel to go up and down the TorqueFlite 8-speed. And of course, you're gonna get that same digital display that we've already showed to you here on Raiti's Rides in the center with the analog gauges that flank it on both sides. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the mid-row and see what changes are in store for this special edition. All right, guys, we're in the mid-row of this 3-row SUV. Now, the great news is about the Durango, you could actually get a 3rd row delete, which I think is great because not only does it get rid of all of the extra weight of the seat and the seat belts, but it gives you more room back there. But if you need the 3rd row, you have that row there. I think for the mid-row, you're getting some great touches because you do have the blue contrast stitching all the way down, nice soft material. And then of course, for entertainment, you do have the flip-up rear monitors in the backs of the seats. And I like the fact that you could flip them up and flip them down. Plus you had the headsets that go with them as well. Massive command center with rear AC, heated seats, home power source, 2 USBs. The one zonk is no ventilated seats. That would have been a nice extra touch. But I think the other big touch is no panoramic sunroof. Now you do have controls for the ACs, which are great, but it would have been nice to have some extra glass back here. But this is what we like to bring to you here on Raiti's Rides, is cars, SUVs, do it at the events, have people all over us. I feel like I'm in an ant pile and I'm the clump of salt, of sugar in an ant pile, and everybody, all the ants are just climbing on top of us. But that's what makes Raiti's Rides exciting. Not only do people want to watch, but they also want to be part of the action for you. But what do you think? Is it worth the price? Would you spend the extra $4,000 to have this special edition? Let me know, put it in the comment section. But we are having one heck of an amazing time here at SEMA. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click that link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to give it to the queen of the camera. She really made it happen on this one. Gaggle and gaggle of people, but she held steadfast. Thank you, Lori, for being the muscle behind the camera. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.